This is TWiT. If I was the IT manager at a 10,000-seat enterprise, this is our theoretical 10,000-seat enterprise, and I am now looking at taking my applications that I'm running on my VMware cluster that's currently located in my colo and moving things into AWS. What kind of challenges am I going to run into? What do I need to know ahead of time? What are those things that I can do to make that transition easier?
So this is normally when we talk to customers and they're thinking about going to a public cloud, essentially moving from on-premises into different public cloud offerings that are out there. Typically, they run into features where the end environment is not the same or is inconsistent with what they get in public cloud. This is one of the key value propositions that we have for VMware Cloud AWS. The infrastructure that we're running on and the way you operate that infrastructure is identical to what you would do on premises.
Nice.
So, for example, if you want to move workloads, it's as simple as using vMotion, a very popular and well-known VMware feature. So you can, live migrate running applications from your on-premises into VMware Cloud and AWS without having to do anything. I'm assuming that you have your network configured, you have your direct connect set up and so forth. But once you set that basic network connectivity, rest of it is just point and click, and applications are moving. So you can use vMotion to move a single application. You can use our service we call Hybrid Cloud Extension that allows you to move tens, hundreds, even thousands of applications at the same time. In fact, I had a customer a couple of weeks ago that they started their migration on Friday afternoon, and they thought it was going to take a long time. But Monday morning, they moved 150 of their workloads, their VMs into the service. And I got an email in the morning saying that is acceleration, that is fast.
So if I've already virtualized my application, it just goes right over. I shouldn't notice. Wow.
As long as it's running out of vSphere, as long as it's a vSphere-based workload, point and click, and it goes in there.
How does this work with VMware's existing suite of cloud management software? Because you've got some wonderful tools that allow me to shift workloads dynamically. Does the AWS cluster just look like another cluster, or do I need to use a specific piece of software to do that?
It looks like just a VMware software. In fact, through the hybrid link mode feature that I mentioned initially, customers that are using our vCenter management tool basically can connect the VMware Cloud AWS environment, the management of that environment, with what they're running on premises, and they get a single pane of glass in the same exact way they've been accustomed to seeing it on premises. Now that includes VMware Cloud AWS, and so the same way they were operating in it, same way they were managing it is the way they do it in VMware Cloud AWS.
Who is the ideal customer for this? Who's going to come to you and say, I've got VMware running on my colo, maybe I've got VMware running in a separate cloud operation, but now I want to move over to AWS. Who do you see as the target for this particular feature set?
Mm-hmm. So in terms of customers that we have on this service, it kind of cuts really widely across the board. So small customer, medium-sized, large customers across all the verticals. I would kind of put it down to, what is the use case? What is your use case for public cloud? And we see three categories of customers. We have customers that, over the years, made investment in their on-premises infrastructure, whether that's in people, the infrastructure itself, processes, and so forth. And they're looking at public cloud they don't necessarily want to get out of that infrastructure. They want to continue using it, but they see public cloud as a ideal place for very specific use cases. Disaster recovery is one good example of that use case. On-demand capacity. When I have that seasonal workload, whether it's a tax season, shopping season, and so forth, being able to spin up capacity in minutes is very valuable to them. Customers that are looking for additional capacity for a specific project or something that's longer term, that's an ideal environment for them. Or customers that have specific type of workloads. For example, for dev and test, they want to move their entire dev and test environment. That is a kind of a good use case there. So that's for customers that made that investment in their infrastructure. Then we also have a category of customers that want to get out of what they have on premises, want to move into public cloud, essentially want to migrate their infrastructure into public cloud. Now, these come in a couple different flavors. There's the customers just want to move a single applications, be it an Oracle workload or a specific HR app. Customers that want to move part of their infrastructure because they're refreshing it, they need something that's more modern, faster. They move that portion of the infrastructure into VMware Cloud AWS. Or customers that are in colo, as you're mentioning, they want to shut the whole thing down and go public cloud and want someone else to entirely manage it for them. So that's also a good use case for that type of a customer. And then the final category of customers where we see AWS is doing a lot of innovations around the different services that they have, whether it's IoT, Lambda, or the other 90 plus PaaS type of services they have. And as developers are looking at these services and trying to either build new applications or modernize existing applications, they want to take advantage of those services. Now, VMware Cloud AWS sits next to VMware, next to these AWS services, and we have engineered direct connectivity to the AWS services, so it gives you the high performance, low latency that you would expect as if you were running those workloads out of native EC2. And because we're so close to the services, another set of customers that we get are the ones that want to modernize their applications, build their next generation application using the typical VMware tools they're familiar with, using all the security, the policy, all the processes they built out over the years with VMware, yet being able to take advantage of these new AWS services for their applications.